So let's talk about what your the most famous thing you are known for, which some people are already talking about in the chat. Let's talk about the bike story, shall we?
Oh my
Yeah,
goodness.
the bike story. Y'all been talking about it.
Let's
So
talk about it. What do you want to talk about? What do you want to know?
who came up with that story? For the origin of the bike story. How did that come about? Enlighten the internet, please.
Sure. I mean, how did it come up? It was totally spontaneous. I was playing through. I was just doing a gameplay through of Mafia 2. It was my first time ever playing it, and somebody named Gnarls, who's still in my community, somebody named Gnarls had shared a donation about how he had gotten in this horrible bike accident, which was true, which was totally true, by the way. Somebody had hit him and messed his bike up, and he was in a lot of, physical pain. And he was just kind of sharing, like, I had a shit day. This happened to me. And I was like, oh man, that's terrible. I'm sorry to hear about that. And so what happened was the chat decided that they would have fun with that, and they all started sharing their own experiences about how what a coincidence it was that this bike story happened, and then they started taking on the characters of the story. Like, one was a driver, one was a seagull flying over top. It was just basically chat spontaneity, and they just kept the story going and going and going and getting more and more ridiculous. So it was just one of those kind of moments where chat was just consistently topping itself for a good hour and a half.
So basically, your community is filled with comedians, basically.
They would
people on Twitch. You guys watching right now, you guys are the funniest community on Twitch, bar none, hands down.
They're pretty funny. I'll give them credit. Most, they don't hit 100% of the time. I would say they hit maybe 60% of the time. Maybe back in the day it was 70, but yeah, no, they're very, yeah, the memes were at a high level, and we still experience that. So yeah, I mean, really, it was a credit to the people that were in chat that day that really just kept it going and kept it funny for, like, again, it's hard to keep a bit going for, an hour and have it continue to keep topping itself, but that was one of those special days. So yeah, that was really it. And then what's happened since then is that video has been ripped so many times. And what's so funny, and one of the things that my chat we always love to laugh about, is that original video is in a series that I do called the Stream Snack, which is like highlights of the stream over like the last month or whatever. And that original video, which still I think it has like 500,000 views, which is impressive, but the rips of that, people have just ripped the webcam and then kind of cut it down, and it ended up getting on Reddit and 4chan. We joke, like, every year it gets reposted to 4chan and Reddit like 5 or 6 times. But the rips of those videos are in compilations, have like millions of views more than the video that it was from originally, which is just the way it works.
Yeah, that's my next question is, like, when did you discover just how viral this video? It was on Markiplier, it was on PewDiePie,
Yes.
like, it blew up all over. That's actually how I met you before I met you. It was on Markiplier's Try Not to Laugh thing. And I'm like, that story is hilarious. And then lo and behold, here we are. It's just crazy how things work out. Yes, so when did you discover how big that video was getting?
I think initially, after I posted the snack, I think it was maybe not that long after, maybe a month or so after it got on. I think somebody had posted it on Reddit, and I started noticing that the view count on the video was getting pretty crazy inflated. And so then I was like, okay, this has like some legs. And I remember cutting that, and I remember cutting that stream snack and being like, man, this moment is super funny. Like, I hope it gets traction. But when it started doing it, I was really excited. And then as far as like it getting reposted and ripped and reposted, I think when somebody was like, hey, dude, you're the Contagious Laughter subreddit, which I'm not even a part of, but apparently that's a thing.
That's a thing?
It's called r/Contagious Laughter. And so that it started getting posted in there. And then, over the years, I feel like it's just gotten bigger. Like the Markiplier thing that you're talking about was only a few years ago. But it started getting into If You Laugh, You Lose compilations, which I think is what he was watching.
Yes.
And so I think that's why it's continued to just keep going. And man, it is, like I said, it's a yearly thing, which is great. It's I'm glad that there's a piece of, because for a while it was like I was known for Inbox, which is great, and I loved Inbox and doing that at Machinima. But this thing, it's crazy. If I even search my name on YouTube, if I start typing APLfisher, it's APLfisher bike story, like you said.
First thing, yeah.
That's the thing.
Motown, downtown. Come